Hey, Max here, and I got a hot topic to talk to you guys, you Star Wars fans, about in this episode. And it's about, well, it's also an update on when we should be seeing the Han Solo, a Star Wars story trailer. But I did one on Kathleen Kennedy. I want to now focus on Rian Johnson, why I think the trilogy shouldn't happen, isn't going to happen, or maybe it even didn't start. Maybe it was so preliminary it was just a throwaway. But before we get into the topic, let's give the disclaimer. Warning, this video contains rumors, speculation, and strong opinions, and it would also include spoilers for The Last Jedi. Okay, let's first talk about the trailer. We're going to know a lot more tomorrow morning. I think it is still going to be, all the rumors, new rumors are pointing to tomorrow, Monday, January 15th, 2018. It should probably be on Good Morning America, I believe. And we're finally going to get some answers. It's, wow, how much pressure is on this trailer. And I have to say, I make these videos. I'm not happy with where the Star Wars movie universe is going, but I never want it to be bad. So, I still would be very happy if it's a nice trailer, and those first scenes we get to see with Alden Ehrenreich portraying Han Solo, I hope it works. It's just all the signs point towards it not working out. I think the industry knows with the announcement of Deadpool 2 moving up. I do not think that this movie is going to be pushed to December because there are some big movie releases for Disney in December, like Mary Poppins Returns. Maybe we maybe we already saw that in The Last Jedi with Leia. Leia Returns. And I believe Wreck-It Ralph 2. So there's some other big properties in December. It's just that they're pushing this out so close to when the release of the movie is. There's so many signs, but we're gonna know for sure tomorrow if all the rumors are to be believed. But I want to talk about Rian Johnson. Now, my personal opinion is it was just a preliminary announcement and just Disney marketing magic. Take heat off Solo. Take heat off Kathleen Kennedy for not getting another standalone started. So preliminary. And my personal opinion as well is that they came back to JJ for damage control, because even though there are fans that had issues with The Force Awakens, I think in the community and in general it was received a lot better than The Last Jedi. And the overall worldwide gross, over 200 billion, that's nothing to sneeze about. And there is a big gap. Last Jedi made money, but it's not like Force Awakens money. So I really believe to project confidence, they went behind the scenes. Lucasfilm knew, maybe they didn't know 100% that they had such a divisive film, but they knew they needed someone to repair it. And Trevorrow, I don't think he could. Honestly, it's a mess right now with all the storylines that were dropped. So hopefully JJ can pull it off. Again, I never want things to be bad. But let's get on to the 5 reasons where I think the trilogy is canceled, never started, can't continue. Tell me if you agree. To me, it seems like he's cracking under the pressure. Every few days he's in some new interview explaining his direction. That does not project confidence. He's crumbling under the pressure, and no one at Lucasfilm is helping. Kathleen Kennedy, he did everything she asked. She's not there to help. She's awfully quiet. How many articles do you see popping up online where he's explaining direction and choices for The Last Jedi? It's kind of sad. It does not project confidence. I don't think he can handle another Star Wars movie and the fandom. He's got more pressure on him if he was to continue. I don't think it's going to happen. And, hey, you fans of The Last Jedi, if you're so sure that the Rian Johnson trilogy is going to happen, Shouldn't he be ignoring social media and planning out the trilogy and writing? The worst thing for him to do, if he's gonna continue with the trilogy, he should be writing and ignoring the fandom and not being so reactionary. And you can argue that he's very reactionary with The Last Jedi from The Force Awakens. It seems like they made plot twists for plot twist's sake just to be different. That's another issue fans have with The Last Jedi. Now, let's get on to my number 4 reason I do not think that he is going to continue with the trilogy, and it's SJW and Feminism epic fail. I don't think either side is happy with how these characters were portrayed. If you're going to include diversity in the cast, which they should, do it right. There are so many years that minorities have been waiting for representation on the big screen, and they deserve it. They should do it right. I'm honestly surprised there isn't more backlash against how characters were treated in The Last Jedi. Rose was an Asian stereotype of a fangirl. Rey doesn't get real character development, and a complete reversal on Kylo, her Kylo stance. This is supposed to be days after she saw him kill his own father, and now she wants to redeem and save him and bring him back to the light. I can't see it. There's few scenes where it's handled and it doesn't gel well. Luke and his own mother can't see it. They say he's irredeemable, but the one that saw him kill his own father wants to go save him. Weak story development for Rey. Everything Holdo does is exactly the issues that SJWs have with male chauvinists. Listen to me because I am charged and I know better. Holdo is basically a female chauvinist or an SJW chauvinist. It's very weak. What a missed opportunity for Holdo if you were waiting for representation there. Finn has no real character development and a pointless side quest. I would have loved if they did more with his character and showed that maybe he is a little Force sensitive. I'm not saying go full Jedi, but I would love to see more scenes and more with Finn. I think Finn was a great character and interesting. A stormtrooper that switched to the rebellion or the resistance. There could have been a lot more done with him. And Poe's character was wasted. A Finn and Poe side quest would have been so much more engaging than a weak love interest with Rose for Finn, which ultimately went nowhere and was cringeworthy. Let's go to my number 3 reason I think he is not going to continue. Character killer. Now, literally and figuratively, I think he handled, and I am talking about, he killed 2 OG characters and fans are upset. And I'm talking about the way the characters are represented. This is not my Luke and Leia. If you heard this before, this is not my Star Wars. To me, Leia was left in the vacuum of space. That's where her scenes ended for me. That would have been a beautiful way to handle the tragedy, and they didn't do much with her when they brought her back. Now, I also think in Episode 9, get ready for her to be killed off in the opening crawl. Because Rian and Lucasfilm couldn't handle her character when she was alive. Force coma? Really? That's what you do with Leia in this movie? So you don't have to give her true character progression in dealing with her son and her and Han's death and confronting Ben Solo. That would have been such a powerful scene. That's where Carrie could have had her time to shine. We deserve to see her dealing with Han's passing and confronting her son. And then that throwaway line at the end saying he is irredeemable. I do not. Fine. If you want to have that line and you want us to believe he's irredeemable, then earn it. I don't think that scene was earned with Leia. I think she would need to speak with her son at least one more time to say, you know what, he is irredeemable, Luke. do what you must. That's my honest opinion. I don't see that scene at the end happening without her confronting her son. Tell me if you agree. Especially after the fiasco that is Solo, a Star Wars story, and them recasting the character of Han Solo with Alden Ehrenreich. I don't think they are going to touch recasting of Leia after Carrie Fisher's passing. It's just too risky, and they don't know how to handle characters on screen. So the easiest thing, this Lucasfilm with Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson, I think they always go the easiest route. And the easiest thing to do is to explain it in the opening crawl. Go on to my number 2 reason I think he's done. He is not a strong enough writer. Now, I am not 100% bashing Rian. I do not like what he did with The Last Jedi. I think he does have some talent. But it's not in writing because these characters had weak writing. Maybe he should just stick to directing. There were so many awesome visuals in The Last Jedi. Maybe he can't write. Maybe he didn't have enough time. Maybe it was rushed. Maybe he had the things stacked against him, which I think he did. They rushed into production. Not enough supporting writing. It should have been, there should have been more writers on this. There should have been rewrites to make everything flow together, and they should have waited to get the movie done right. Rey's story was not fleshed out and even shallower than in The Force Awakens. When this should be her movie to shine. She should have the most character development in a movie where she goes to train with Master Jedi Luke Skywalker. This should have been her movie. Rose, Holdo, and Finn and Poe's storylines were all weak in stereotypes without much to do. And then we get to Jake Skywalker. Enough said there. I don't think this is our Luke Skywalker, and it's not Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker. I know he has to backtrack because he's in contracts, and he doesn't want to make... Mark Hamill's a great guy. He doesn't want to make people angry, but we have the right to be because they expect so much of us with our pocketbooks in the fandom. We have every right to be upset with the way they treat our characters. These are our characters. Star Wars was a thing, but the fans carried it this way, and the fans are what make this property so important, and the fans should not be ignored. Go on to the number 1 reason I think that Rian Johnson's trilogy is not going to happen. Welcome to the industry, Rian. Now, you've made movies before, but welcome to the blockbuster movie industry. You toe the line and do what you're told, and corporate executives still throw you under the bus. Divided fan base and 40% less worldwide gross, almost $800 million, is a huge gap and cannot be ignored. This is one of the worst sequel-to-sequel drops in movie history. Plus all the money that they are paying to JJ to repair the trilogy, to fix loose ends, repair confidence with the fandom. They have to pay a hefty fee to Paramount just to bring him back. And JJ did not intend to be back. So that's another sign, to my personal opinion, that's another sign that they knew things were not going right when they brought JJ back. I do not put it against Trevorrow that he couldn't wrap this up, because it's a mess. They're not going to pay all that money just to repair confidence and just to let Rian break it back down again right before the launch of the streaming service and the parks and all that's happening in 2019 with the debut of Episode 9. They're not going to repair the division, just to tear it down again. Bye, Rian. I think you're done. I think you should put story, characters, and fans first. You have to do your job, but you gotta listen to fans. That's my opinion. I would love to hear yours. If you disagree, please tell me why in the comments. Maybe I'm wrong. This is just my opinion. And now I'm going to get to the shout out for this episode. and it comes from Swerve. I just found out that Kathleen Kennedy was among the executive producers of the Back to the Future trilogy. You're right. She should have known better. This is just more proof that the Solo disaster could have been avoided if she would have gone through her past experiences. She's dealt with this situation before. It wasn't happening. You can't blame. If things aren't happening, if they're not gelling, you just got to deal with it. I think she went the wrong decision. She should have kept Lord and Miller. They have a good history in blockbuster filmmaking. They're widely accepted, and they know what they're doing. The actor, he may be a good actor, maybe just not fits the role of Han Solo. They should have tried something different. They should have delayed it more and worked it out instead of giving us this mess. And they had time before episode 9. They could have definitely delayed it. She made the wrong decision, in my opinion. And this is where I want to give you the reminder, you don't have to follow me anywhere. All I want from you is to join in the conversation. I'll try to reply. I really appreciate you watching this episode of Hot Topic. See you on the next one. Bye, guys.